Should observe that in 1919, January 16th, 1919, today is January 16th, 2023, the 18th Amendment passed to the Constitution. Prohibition, in other words. And then the Volstead Prohibition Act was something different. The two are often confused. Uh, Volstead became law on October 28. Volstead gave the money to build the infrastructure to enforce um, that amendment. Of course, the prohibition agents were remarkably corrupt, so it did nothing. The act was named after a Minnesota congressman, Andrew Volstead, who died just a few days after Capone did. He made Capone, basically. Volstead absolutely never wavered from his absolute assurance that that bill was right for, as he put it, America, the world, and mankind. Prohibition, alcohol was killing us, in his view. So, a few months after Prohibition began, a moonshine still was found on a guy who helped pass the bill, Senator Shepard from Austin, Texas. He was a co-author of the bill. It was a fact that several liquor dealers, knowing they were going to go out of business, wanted to keep doing business with the government, and so they stocked parts of the basement of the Capitol with liquor. You know, we should point out that it was a dumb law. It did nothing but turn virtually an entire nation into scofflaws. That's never good. It um, it created a criminal class. It took otherwise honest cops and elected officials and corrupted them. It did more harm than good. But in the big picture, there were a lot of groups lobbying for this. And it wasn't strictly out of morality. Liquor was virtually unregulated. I remember men who would have been my grandfather's age telling me when I was a kid, when they made deliveries to homes, the owners would give them a bottle of beer. They were kids. We also had the problem of a lot of European ethnics who were coming here in force at that time. You know, the vast majority of Irish came here way, way, way after Prohibition. They came around 1900, and then there were Italian Americans. Liquor, wine, beer, it was part of the subculture, and there were other groups as well. It was just out of control, and of course, these people were living in horrible conditions. Liquor wasn't helping. The bigger picture was well-intended people wanted to stop the spread of drinking. So that on December the 19th, shortly before Prohibition came into effect, Dean O'Banion, who was a work unto himself, was walking down a Chicago street. He came across a parked liquor truck, and he knew what was coming down with Prohibition. He carried a roll of nickels wrapped in in a sock inside his pocket. He walked over to the truck. He grabbed the driver, whacked the hell out of him with the nickels, threw him out of the truck, jumped in the truck, and drove off. Truck full of liquor. He then sold it back to the liquor